Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's New Year's Eve edition. Thank you so much for ordering one of our very special New Year's Eve meal kits to help you celebrate at home this crazy COVID New Year's Eve. I've got such an exciting menu for you tonight. I've decided I'm going to do one of every dish tonight, so you get to see it all beautiful and plated. And I can't wait because it's usually I only do one appetizer, one main course, and one dessert. So tonight we're doing two appetizers, two main courses, and just one dessert because the desserts are the same. And really, after Christmas, I might not need as many desserts. So there's a lot of things going on, and it's because this is a really special night. The good news is the appetizers are both cold, so I would suggest that you make them first, enjoy them, then come back for the main course, enjoy that, and then dessert afterwards. So you can really stage it, but I'm going to try to compress the video in so that it's not too long for you guys to watch. But first, pour yourself a glass of this delicious wine. If you've ordered the wine pairing, we have this Loimer Pet Nat, which is what the cool kids are drinking these days. It's Pétillant Naturel. It's fermented in the bottle, and it's finished with a crown cap instead of a champagne cork, and it's just delicious. From Austria and one of the most famous vineyards in Europe, and it's just delicious. It's a little bit rich, which is perfect for the foie gras terrine or the smoked beet salad because they both have some sweetness to them, and you want to try to match that up. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone ahead and I put the broccolini and the potato pave on a baking sheet in the oven a few minutes ago. So that's going to be roasting for 20 minutes. You just want to toss the broccolini in some olive oil, salt, pepper. Potato pave just as is, put it on some parchment paper in the oven at 425 degrees, or if like me, you have a convection oven, 400 degrees. Always take 25 degrees off. Then we've got the steak to sear. Why don't we go ahead and get started on that because we're going to do, so 90 seconds on each side, and then it needs 5 minutes in the oven, and then another 5 minutes for resting. So it's okay if it rests a little more. So I'm going to get that pan nice and warm. And we need, so heavy bottom pan. I use a cast iron pan and it's the greatest thing out there. But whatever your heaviest pan is great. And it's going to be 2 ounces of neutral oil. In my case, it's grapeseed oil, but you can use some canola oil as well, vegetable oil if you don't have it. That's good. And the same thing is going to go in. So we've got 1 tablespoon in our mushrooms for the beef. And also I'm going to do 2 ounces, for the gnocchi. Let me just double check that I got that right. 1 ounce of oil per person for the gnocchi. Good. I maybe did 1.5 ounces, and that's just fine. So we've got a lot going on. I've got our vegetarian or vegan demi-glaze over here, truffled vegan demi-glaze with these beautiful Burgundian truffles that we just got in today. And then we've got our bordelaise sauce for the beef. So lots going on. And then I've got my zucchini bread that I need to remember to put in the oven for 8 minutes. Okay, so why don't we get rolling on. All right, so this is going to be for my mushrooms. So for the beef, we've got these beautiful trumpet royales or king Orangi mushrooms, really big, and we've done them with a little Hasselback crosshatch, and that's going to go down first. So you're really going to be searing them more than sauteing them tonight. So as soon as the oil gets hot, we're going to throw that in there. I've gone ahead and put my smoked beets and my beautiful endive in here. We're going to put some olive oil on here. The beets will probably need a little bit more than the endive, and then just some salt and pepper for it as well. And the beets will stain your hands. So get a spoon or some tongs. Let's toss the endive, beautiful red endive first. Okay, that's looking good. Smoked beets. This is such a wonderful composed vegetarian salad. Okay, so we've got our beet ketchup. That's going to go on the bottom. Spin it around so that you can see it on the edges. It's got such a gorgeous color. Mm, very nice. And then spread out into a circle. Oh, I forgot. So I think we're close to the 8 minutes. So I'm going to throw my zucchini bread in there. Keep an eye on the time. Good. That's getting hot. So why don't I go ahead and sear the beef? Take the beef out of the sous vide bag, and you're going to put it on a paper towel to pat it off. There we go. It doesn't have to be super high heat because don't forget, we've already done the hard work and cooked it sous vide to rare. So you're basically just crusting it, bringing it up to medium rare and warming it up. So according to Chef Rich's instructions, about 90 seconds on each side. And then we're going to turn the pan off and then drain the oil and then add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. So I'm going to get a small bowl. That's funny. All my small bowls are gone. Okay. And then I can throw my mushrooms in here and sear those guys on. Get rid of some stuff. So 90 seconds each side. Just going to move it around. Okay, this guy is getting warm, but I'm going to turn it down a little bit because I want the main courses to finish around the same time. Okay, so we've got our beet ketchup. Oh yeah, that's right. I've got my almond butter in the fridge because I didn't want it to get super runny when I took it out, and this is for the foie gras. Okay, so we're at about 90 seconds, so let's flip the beef over. Got a nice crust on there. So next up on the beet salad, top with endive and then beets. So you can make a pretty design with the endive if you like. Make sure some of the petals are facing outwards. It's such a gorgeous lettuce to work with. Okay. And then our smoked beets. Okay, I'm going to turn this guy off now. Beautiful. And yes, I'm supposed to drain the oil and then melt 2 tablespoons of butter per person. So 4 tablespoons. I know it seems like a lot, but it is New Year's Eve. So we want to do it up right. I'm going to need to cut some more butter. I did not get my mise en place ready for this. Sorry, guys. And as soon as the butter melts, you are going to spoon it over the steak. I'm just going to let that melt over there real quick. I'm going to finish off my salad. So we've got our lovely smoked almonds here. And then our samphire, which is also known as sea beans. And this has a gorgeous color, first of all, but brininess to it as well. And it's going to go right on top. Okay, butter is melted. Let's baste the steak. So just tip the pan down using a cast iron. Make sure to use a rag, about 5 times on each side. Butter based steak is a gorgeous thing. Beef has gotten incredibly expensive this year, and it is a delicacy in a way that it used to not be. So I'm glad that we were doing it. Uh-oh. My mushrooms, a little bit brown over there. That's okay. So that's going in for 5 minutes. Okay, now the mushrooms are ready. And I'm going to turn that down because it was really high. It should be more on medium. Maybe I'll just put it over there. It will melt itself down. 1 tablespoon unsalted water per person, and melted and mixed, seasoned with salt and pepper. I'm going to turn the mushrooms over so that both sides get the nice butter. And we're going to basically just leave it in the back there, looking good. Okay, oh, let's get started on the gnocchi, shall we? Turn this guy up a little. So the gnocchi and the organic mushrooms are going to go in at the same time, and the watercress is going to go in at the end. So just make sure you leave the watercress behind in the box. Give it a little stir. Okay. Yeah, to finish off my first appetizer, we have the Ayo Blanco, which is basically like this amazing sort of cream almond paste. And it is just delicious. You can dollop any way you like. So good. That is one gorgeous salad. So the smoked beets with the endive, the beet ketchup, samphire or sea beans, and the Ayo Blanco. Enjoy. And then next up, I want to make sure that we're tossing our gnocchi. We want to get ready for the foie gras terrine sumac and rose jam. So we can do the little chef swoosh here, if you like. Sort of drag through. Loving tasting all these things. And then we've got the almond butter. It's kind of like a really awesome PB&J. And that is going to go on your bread with the foie gras. I should have did this on a bigger pan. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And some more butter needs to go in here, which of course I didn't get ready. Too many things going on today. Melt that butter in with the gnocchi. And by the way, this is a Parisian gnocchi. If you notice that it's a little bit smaller, it's a choux paste, and it is really nice. You know what, guys? I'm going to suggest that we go 2 ounces of oil per person to start, because my gnocchi is sticking just a little bit. This is why we do these meal kit videos, is to be able to work at the kinks ahead of time and update the instructions. So I'm taking one for the team for you tonight. Okay, now the butter is going on in there. So the steak is ready and the zucchini loaf is ready. I'm gonna get a little trivet here. Zucchini loaf comes off and steak is gonna go on. You can use the same baking sheet or some of that gorgeous butter on top. All right. That is done over there. Hey Google, off. Turn my oven off. And my broccolini and potato pave are ready. I'm going to put it on another trivet so that my oven doesn't beep at me. Okay. So with the zucchini bread, I'm going to cut it in half. You know what? I'm going to serve this on the side. And then the delicious foie gras terrine. It's in between these. Make sure to temper it. That's hope I can put it down gently so I don't mess it up. But the good thing about foie gras is if you mess it up a little bit, you can use a knife and put it back in. The gnocchi's sticking just a little bit. And the watercress is going to go in just a second. I'm going to turn the heat off. So you can take a dinner knife, sort of mold it back to shape. So you want it room temperature. You don't want it super warm. I probably tempered it a bit too long. Very important, do not forget the sea salt on top of the foie gras. So there we are. Foie gras terrine, the zucchini bread, and the rose jam, and the homemade almond butter. All right, let's get ready for the main courses. Okay, so now we can throw the watercress in just at the end when it's a little wilty. The bordelaise sauce is looking good. The vegan demi-glaze is good. And the one thing I forgot is the truffled butter is going to go in. You want to make sure you get it all because this stuff is really great. All the truffles. And you can whisk this around, or in my case, I'm going to use a bit of a spatula so that you emulsify it in there. So let me go back to the instructions. Heat truffle jus, melt truffle butter into the jus, bring to a simmer. The gnocchi and mushrooms watercress first. And it's delicate gnocchi, so I'm going to use a spoon for this guy. And I've got a big pasta bowl here. Make sure you keep some of the watercress to top it with, because that looks so pretty. And I didn't even tell you about the red wines. We have actually two amazing red wines. We got shorted on our Clos La Chance Cabernet Sauvignon, so some of you are going to be getting one of my other all-time favorites. They're both amazing Cabernets. One's from California, and one is from South Africa. And it's the Great Slan Cabernet that we served actually at New Year's Eve last year and was such a hit. And that's the one I'm drinking tonight, and it is super good. Okay, so the truffle jus, I want to make sure I'm getting this right. Top with jus and pecorino. So you can put it around and on top. Oh, the smell is incredible. Hope you guys like truffle as much as I do. And then finally, the pecorino. Gorgeous. I'm not going to put too much on because I want everyone to see how beautiful this is in the picture, but feel free to go to town if you love the cheese. There is our Burgundian truffle pâte à choux gnocchi done with the organic mushrooms and watercress and pecorino. All right, main course. Let's get going. So the steak's almost done resting. Let's make sure my demi-glaze is there, looking good. My bordelaise sauce, which is a red wine demi-glaze. So potato pave. We have our broccolini right there, which we season with salt and pepper. Might as well get the olive oil that is on the parchment, and maybe a little bit of the butter that's run out of the potato pave, because there is a decent amount of butter in there. And then our mushrooms, again, give them a toss so that they're coated in that lovely butter. And I have already seasoned them with salt and pepper. Very nice. Hey, Why not? It is New Year's Eve. Let's get the butter in there too. Okay, and then the steak, we're looking to slice it. So you want to find the grain and you want to cut it against the grain. So the grain is where the stuff runs. And very, very important, folks, make sure to season with salt and pepper. And then red wine demi-glaze, a little bit on top. This is gorgeous stuff. It is like paste. It's so reduced and decadent. That is one good looking dish. I do want to clean it up, make it look extra special for the pictures. But there we are. Our Beverly Creek strip loin, which is a wonderful local grass-fed strip loin producer or beef producer, with the potato pave, the classic bordelaise, the trumpet royale mushrooms, and the roasted broccolini. And then the last thing we got, I'm almost there, last meal kit of the year. We want to keep the desserts warm. So the caramel is going down first. Salted caramel it is. I want to make sure I get this right. Center of your plate for the caramel. There's nothing better than salty sweet combo. So just spread it around so you can see it outside of your brownie. Got my cat coming in here into the picture real soon. Hi, Catu. You're on camera. And then we've got our marshmallow fluff. Can't go wrong with marshmallow fluff. That is some good stuff. So, folks, our jeweled chocolate brownie with marshmallow fluff and salted caramel. Happy New Year's. Thank you again for letting us be part of your special celebration at home. We hope we get to cook and curate for you again in the new year, and we really hope that we're all through this pandemic soon and we get to welcome you back into the restaurant before too long. But just have an amazing celebration, and cheers, and thank you for all the incredible support this year and last, and I hope you love your meal. Thank you.